done it. This is one puzzle you cannot solve. I've studied your techniques, reviewed your childish gadgets, and there is nothing in your arsenal that can help you.
That can what? Answer me, Riddler. Help me what? Because I could really use some better ventilation. Man, this thing is sweaty. Answer me!
What up, friends? We are back to talk this time about Gotham. Gotham. I guess you can't really see it quite as well. This thing is really sweet, man. This is a puzzle. It's by a company called 4D City Puzzlescapes, and it's really, really cool. I don't really know what the deal is with the 4D. Just seems kind of like, you know, any other sort of three-dimensional puzzle. I guess the fourth dimension is like the extra, the outside info that you get. Because it comes with, you know, a booklet about all of the landmarks in Gotham, that kind of thing. I'll start just by saying I would definitely recommend it to anybody that is Batman fan, anybody that's puzzle fan. So it cost, it's been a while since I bought it, to be honest. I bought it last year and just didn't have the space to actually put it together in my old place. I think it cost like $80 or so. That's Canadian, of course. So whatever, you know, your regional equivalent would be. Well worth it. Well worth it. It took about 25 to 30 hours in between from start to finish. Took me about a week to do. I started on a Monday. And then it was either the following Sunday night or the following Monday night. It was either 6 or 7 days it took me to do a little bit each day, you know. Well, a little bit. It was almost 30 hours in 1 week after, you know, I worked and would come home, do a couple hours a night or whatever, a bunch of hours on each of my days off. So it comes in there's three like sections. There's three chunks of this thing that you have to put together. There's the base puzzle, and this thing is, holy cow, this thing is a beast, dude. It's like 1,100 and some odd, 1,150 pieces or something like that. And it's a mess. It's confusing. You know, I mean, maybe somebody that's a more experienced puzzle completionist than I am, they might have done it quicker. Also, if you have lots of space, like if you have a really big surface, that would be handy too, because being able to spread out all of the pieces and kind of like section them into the different, you know, I put the water pieces in one part of the box, and I put the like all of the land pieces that I could see the highway on in another part, and you know, that kind of thing, just separated like you would do any puzzle. I spent a lot of time just like slowly thinning those like sections out and you know, making more specific ones, and just matching up the colors of the different districts and that kind of thing. But man, this thing was, that bottom layer is absolutely going to be the bulk of your time in this puzzle. That probably took me almost 20 hours just by itself.
I swear to God, by the time I was done this layer, I wanted to kill it. I mean, put it to sleep. Sleep.
And so next up, you've got the foam, like the middle layer, the foam section that creates all of the landmass of Gotham, and just sort of the surrounding area. And that's much easier, much easier. That part only took me maybe a few hours max to put together, between actually putting it together and punching out all of the little holes where the buildings eventually go, the models. And so that was, it was just easy. I definitely recommend learn from my mistakes, future puzzle doer. Oh my God, I need to figure something better out than puzzle doer. Anyways, don't put the entire thing together and then start putting the buildings in and decide that you're just going to punch each hole out one by one. I, for some reason, thought that it would maybe make it easier to find all of these things, but I mean, it comes with like a separate little sheet that is a map of, you know, a numbered map of all of the places, right? So just punch all of the pieces out in one go. and don't do what I did. I had like half of the buildings in before I decided it was just not worth the trouble, and it just ended up taking me longer to do. So that was the second piece of the puzzle.
Hey, you think some of that foam might help soak up all of this sweat that I'm swimming in? Man, the inside of this thing is like a slip and slide.
So now you're on to the final stage of this puzzle, which is definitely, I mean, obviously where it all starts coming together, but that's when I like really started to truly enjoy this thing. And every time I would, you know, go to the bathroom or something and come back and just see it a little more built out and a little more built out and just more buildings, I just couldn't help it. Put such a big smile on my face every time. There's one, I guess, sort of small caveat that I have to this part of the puzzle. The buildings are all numbered, right? And there's a reference guide to where they all go, obviously. But finding the numbers on these little pieces, this is one of the buildings, right? And so they're pretty small. The numbers are all like, they are punched onto the edges of these and like kind of on the inside. Let's see if we can... No, I don't know. I'm not going to be able to do it. The number on this one, for instance, is on like the flat part of the underside of this, of the base of this tower. And it's so small, man. It's so small and hard to see. For some of them, this one in particular isn't so bad. Some of these numbers, man, they're etched onto a surface that is a millimeter, a couple millimeters thick. So, you know, like if you're hard of vision, you're going to need like a magnifying glass. I almost needed one a couple times for some of the buildings. But that's really the only downside that I had with this. I think I just spat a little bit. Oops. Yeah, and so that's basically it. Lastly, I have one thing that is specific to possibly my, like, specifically this one puzzle, hopefully. Now that I think about it, probably not. There's probably a whole batch of them that went out like this. So this building that I grabbed to show you the numbers, there's no duplicates, right? There's no duplicate buildings in this entire set. But there was, I guess, like a manufacturing error that happened at some point where two of this building got put into the bunch of them. I'm missing one. There's a spot that's, I've just put this on top of it, but it's not for this building. It's for a building of a completely different, like the base is completely differently shaped. I spent probably a half an hour just trying to figure out if there was, what was the issue with this. And so this is just an extra of the same building from, all of these ones. There are some that are specific to Gotham, and they're all punched in with GC followed by the number. And then there's a bunch they use, I can only assume they have a New York set as well, because this has NY28. And so there's two NY28s in my package. And it's missing one of the GC specific ones, GC63 or something, I can't remember. But I thought that was kind of funny, just like a little manufacturing error. Hopefully they caught it before they, did a whole slew of them. But so that was kind of just a funny random thing. Yeah, that's it. It's really sweet. Again, I definitely would recommend it. Like I said before, it cost me, I think, about $80, probably before tax. I remember it being just under $100. And again, 25, definitely not 30 hours, in between 25 and 30, I would say, from start to finish. Took about a week. And it was just such a blast, man. So if there's any puzzle fans out there, any Batman fans, if you are fans of both of those things, I can't recommend this thing enough. It was totally worth it. I've spent more money on games that I have, gotten less enjoyment out of and less time out of. So, I think that's going to be it. I really wanted to talk about this thing. As always, to you, my friends, and to the wide world beyond, I wish you all the best from the beautiful west coast of BC. Peace.
There's no way you could have solved that one. Even I could. You must have cheated. Consider this a warning.
Batman wins.
You hear that, Riddler? I win. 'Cause I'm Batman. Heh, nailed it.